What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about what it's like growing up British. As an American, I have no idea what it's like growing up in Britain. So today, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at this Reddit discussion where someone asked, what's an example of growing up British that is uniquely British? So, examples of things that you only experience if you grow up in Britain as a British person. That sounds very interesting to me. For example, if I did something wrong, my dad would be like, come here, sit. All right. What's the crack? Crake? What is this word? Crack? Crack? Can I? What's the crack? Is this like a British phrase or something? I've never heard this word in my life. Is this an example of something you hear growing up in Britain? From your British father would be like, come here, sit. All right, what's the crack? Maybe I can look this up. What what on earth does this mean? What's the crack? Oh, okay. Enjoyable social activity. A good time. For example, he loves the crack, the late nights. Can I? What?
Crack.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
Crack.
Crack. Crack. Like Crack. Crack. I've never heard crack spelled this way or used this way. It's a noun. It says it's Irish. Enjoyable social activity. At that moment, you're like, he knows that I know that he knows what I've done. And he wants me to tell him, knowing I can't lie, because he already knows what I've done. This is like when your dad sits you down and is like, okay, so what's going on? What's up? What's happening? And you don't quite know what they're talking about, but you do know, because you know you've done something wrong, but you're not quite sure if they know, but you know that they do know. But they're being ambiguous about it, so they say, what's the crack? I've never heard that phrase before. Okay, perfect example to start this off. That's what it's like growing up British. Or maybe in like Northern Ireland, it was saying that that had like Irish roots in that word. Or is that a word that's used like commonly in Britain? I don't know. Feel free to let me know about that. Crack. What's the crack? All right, what else do we have here? Saying all right, but not actually expecting an answer. Yeah, I've heard of this one. That British people say all right, or I thought it was like you all right. Can you shorten it? And it's like all right. That's even more confusing. I guess it's a greeting in Britain, very normal greeting in Britain, not at all normal here in the United States. As a matter of fact, that wouldn't make any sense at all to us. I pissed off one of my Polish mates once by accident because every time he went out for a smoke, I would say, all right, as he got back. After the fifth time, he said, why do you keep asking if I'm okay? Yes, I'm okay. Don't I look okay? Are you okay? That's exactly the attitude and response that an American would give. Because in America, you all right? Saying that like a question or all right, that wouldn't even make sense to me. I would understand if you said you all right. But in America, that means is everything okay? Is something wrong? It's like almost the opposite effect of what it is in Britain. In Britain, it's like a friendly greeting, right? You're just saying, hey, what's up? It's like saying, what's up? Is that correct? In America, it's more like saying, is something wrong with you? That's more of the implication that it gives. So, yeah, a lot of Americans, and in that example, someone from Poland even was like, yes, I'm fine. Why do you keep asking? Like we get defensive about it. Yes, these are very good so far. What's some more examples of unique things about what it's like growing up in Britain? Experiences you'd only have as a British person. During morning assembly, parroting, good morning, Miss Blank. Good morning, everyone. Is this like a really, really specific like British memory or something that this person is having? It's specifically you have morning assembly? Like homeroom? Like the class gathers in the morning, and then everyone says exactly, "Good morning, Miss Smith." And then she says, "Good morning, everyone." Like in that exact order? With those exact words? Is that mandatory in Britain? Or is that just like coincidentally how it always goes? Also, having to sit on the cold, hard wooden assembly floor while you sing hymns? Oh, is this like while you sing hymns? Is that like a religious thing? That would be like more of a Catholic school or something in the United States. We did have our fair share of cold, hard wooden assembly floors. That much I can relate to. Okay. Unless you were in year 6 and got to sit on the benches. Oh, really moving up in this world. You finally get to sit on the benches instead of the floor. These are very specific core memories, I can tell, from people growing up in Britain. This is fantastic. Let's keep going. More examples. I'll give you something to cry about in a minute. Is that a threat? Look at the state of your knees. I've heard this phrase before, although this is a bit dramatic, and not many people actually say this seriously. I think I've heard this in a movie or something. I'll give you something to cry about in a minute. I've heard that before. It's a threat. It's like when somebody's complaining, and then you're like, "I'll give you something to really cry about in 2 seconds if you don't shut up." Like it's kind of a threat that you're gonna do something to them. That I've heard of. This one, look at the state of your knees. Are these references to something? Like, am I not connecting the dots here? Am I not getting this reference? I totally don't understand this one. Look at the state of your knees. Maybe I can look this up on Google. What is this from? What does this mean? Sherlock? Deodorant? Sherlock Holmes? Is this a Sherlock Holmes thing? Look at the state of your knees. I'm not sure I totally get that one. And my mum's favorite was, "Am no askin' ye, am tellin' ye," in a thick Ayrshire accent. Where on earth is Ayrshire? Ayrshire. That's a breed of horse. It's also a county in southwest Scotland. Perfect. I'm no asking ye, I'm telling ye. Something like that. That is definitely a British, specifically a Scottish experience for sure. I'm not asking. That is something that you'd hear in America from like your mom or something, though. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, is how we would say it. And it's very scary. It's like the Blackpool Illuminations in here. Don't understand. There's some references here that I know I'm just not gonna understand. They're just too British, too obscure, but that's okay. That's kind of part of the fun for me. Let's keep going. Some other examples of what it's like growing up British. How's she doing? Who's she? The cat's mother? What? Okay, now we're just I effing hated this growing up. I hated this growing up. What does this mean? How's she doing? Okay, this is like in school when we said, when we go to the teacher in America and we say, can I go to the bathroom? And the teacher says, "May I go to the bathroom?" You mean, may I go to the bathroom? Not can you. You can go to the bathroom, but may you? Like using proper language. I think that's what this is. If you're growing up in Britain and you say, "How's she doing?" and they say, "Who's she?" The cat's mother. It's like saying, use the proper name of the person. Specify who you're talking about. Otherwise, who are you talking about? The cat's mother? I think I've heard this somewhere. This is not a phrase that's like used in American culture, at least not in my experience. But I've heard it somewhere. Like, gosh, not in a long time. That seems like a very old saying. Huh, okay, unlocking some core memories in my brain too. What else do we have here? Unique experiences of growing up British. Someone saying, It's like Blackpool Illuminations in here. Turn big light off. There's a lot of obscure references like coming up here, I swear. What is this? It's like Blackpool Illuminations in here is an informal British simile that means very brightly lit. This, oh my god, okay. I have never heard this before. This is amazing. This is part of the reason I really enjoy looking at discussions like this. This is like a a British phrase that I would never ever in a million years have discovered any other way if not for this. It's like Blackpool Illuminations in here. This means it's very bright. It's very, very bright. It's often used by a patriarchal figure to express annoyance. like if it's too bright in the room, like all the lights are on, and you go to your kids and you're like, turn all those lights off. It's like Blackpool Illuminations in here. What is a Blackpool illumination? Whatever it is, it's very bright. I've never heard that ever before. I don't know what a Blackpool illumination is, but if you said this phrase in the United States, no one would have any clue what on earth you're talking about. Turn big light off. That was the translation. Okay, now I understand. I had it's lit up like the Crystal Palace. That's another, okay, that one I would kind of understand. Were you born in a barn? If if a bunch of doors were left open. British parents really had their love of similes and phrases and these sort of sarcastic remarks that are like roundabout ways of saying shut the door or turn the lights down, but other ways of saying them. Okay, what else do we have here? The Great British Kettle Surge. Putting on the kettle after EastEnders, apparently. Oh, I get this one. I actually understand this one, because I learned about kettles for the first time, like, man, like, not that long ago. Just like a couple of videos ago, I learned about kettles, electric kettles, because we don't have those here. And, right, so this is a thing, right? The Great British Kettle Surge. So it's because everyone puts their kettle on at the same time in like all across Britain if something really important is on. Like EastEnders, which it must be a TV show, and it causes like a literal power surge on like the electrical grid in Britain. Everyone turning on their electric kettle at the same time because of of watching the same TV show. Halftime of England matches too. Oh, okay, like football matches. Like during halftime, everyone quickly runs over to turn on the electric kettle. Very good. These are such freaking British references. I feel like I'm getting a sense of the feeling of British life with because these are just so specific. It's funny, actually. It's enjoyable. What else do we have here? In Britain, growing up, you might hear someone say, "Calm down, dear, it's only a commercial." When someone is clearly at max capacity and stressed out and I've come to help, calm down, it's only a commercial? Can I look this up? Calm down. This is a video. Calm down, dear. It's only a commercial? Yeah, this is from a television commercial, I think. So this is a reference to like a British advert or commercial, and you say it when someone is stressed out. Calm down, dear. It's only a commercial. Okay. Never heard that one before. Or the sudden urge to say, to me, to you, whenever two or more people carry anything? What is this from? To me, to you? And you say this must be from something. And it's whenever two or more people carry anything, when you're working together to carry like a washing machine or something, someone has to say, to me, to you. What is that from? That must be a reference to something. If I had to move anything at work with my coworker called Barry, I never get a response off him. He just shakes his Okay. Poor guy. Barry won't even help him. All right, let's take a look at a couple more here. What it's like growing up British. Conker picking. Conker picking. Never heard of it. Throwing large sticks into the tree to knock down the conkers? Conker picking? Maybe I can look this up. What is a conker? Oh, it's these spiky nut things that fall on the ground sometimes. I've seen these, I think. These are from horse chestnut trees, known as conkers. Ah, throwing large sticks into the tree to purposely knock down the nuts, the conkers. Conker picking. is that is that typical British behavior growing up? I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing. And then, either in the oven or using your mom's nail varnish to make a harder conker to cheat at playing conkers in the schoolyard on Monday morning. What? So Conkers is a game. You can play a game with the Conkers, these spiky nuts. And if you're a real savvy British child, you might use nail varnish from your mom to make it harder to win at Conkers. Got it. If I'm ever transported back in time in another universe as a British child, I'm gonna have so much great information here to go. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more. In school, rolling out that absolute unit of a TV on wheels and watching Cat's Eyes. Yeah, this is so funny to me because in American school, growing up, we also rolled out that just huge television on wheels. It got the class very excited when this happened. And we would watch like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know what Cat's Eyes is, but that's okay. It's like the British version. that's awesome. Okay, what are some more very, very obscure, unique British upbringing experiences? The bitter experience of cutting a slice of serene malt loaf. Serene malt loaf? What on earth does that mean? What is that? Is it bread? It's a brand of malt loaf. What is malt loaf? It originated in the UK, known for its rich, sticky texture and malty flavor. There's a little picture of it. Okay. This is like a UK bread. I don't know what malt loaf is, to be honest. We do not have that. Okay, you're cutting into this loaf and finding it's gone from 2 inches to half an inch wide. They're only 2 inches wide? Like at first? And then a half? Do they shrink? What? Thanks for the upvotes. Apparently a lot of people thought this was spot on. Cutting into a slice of serene malt loaf. So this is a small, maybe I can look at an image here. Serene. Here it is. Oh yeah, this is a very tiny loaf of bread. Okay. So it's like only 2 inches wide, and it can shrink? And it goes from 2 inches to half an inch. Man, what a disappointment that would be. I understand why that is ingrained in some British childhoods. The disappointment of cutting into your bread and that happening. Oh my god. And you know what? I think with that, I'm pretty happy. That was very enjoyable, very fascinating sort of glimpse into a bunch of British childhoods. That's what it felt like. Very, very specific phrases and interactions and being at school, talking to the teacher, and malt loaves, and we were just all over the place. But I really enjoyed this. This was fascinating. So much stuff about British culture I've never, ever heard of. I'm very thankful for the British people here leaving these comments and stories. That was fascinating insight. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on things, that you experienced growing up in Britain that you think are unique to British childhood. That'd be very fun to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.